exists.
Oh.
But let me tell you, I want everyone in the UK and the world, because this show goes international, to have a look at the Roger Patterson and the Robert Gimlin film from October the 20th, 1967. Now, that is the most convincing piece of evidence of a Bigfoot that's been captured. And that was at Six Rivers National Park, Willow Creek in California, right? Now, what happens is they were there near a river bend, and as they came around the corner, there's this Bigfoot that walks in front of them. And they were lucky enough to get it on camera, and it doesn't look like a man in the suit. His body doesn't look like a man. His stride and his walk doesn't look like a man. And then there's a famous frame where the actual Bigfoot is standing out like he's stretching out his body, and it doesn't look like a human. Because I've got to tell you something. I want to explain to you Plastic EP's vision, right, of what a Bigfoot is. Now, I've got to tell you, everyone out there, Bigfoot's got no neck. So there's no neck. So what I want you to imagine is these American gridiron players, when they put their helmet on, their neck comes up, so there's no neck. And then what happens, their torso's like that, so they look totally different. That's what you'd expect to see a Bigfoot like this, with outstretched arms, with the torso of a bodybuilder and no neck, but huge legs. And what happens is the stride of the animal can move like 3 times faster or 4 times faster than a human. Whoa. That's why when these people film them, they're there for a second and they're gone. Because isn't it funny that Bigfoot hides behind trees? Doesn't come out and kill you. It just wants to see you, shake the branch or throw rocks at you, and then it wants to disappear. But you know what it's come down to? It's come down to that the people that actually see Bigfoot in the forest, they don't expect to see it. So when they actually see it, they're in shock. Because I've got to tell you, the American Indians in history documents that Bigfoot exists. So I also want to tell you another great case about Bigfoot. And what happens is there was a fire. And this fire was in a national park in 1998 called the Apalachicola National Forest. Now, what happens is 2 rangers were sent out after a fire to look for animals that were hurt or burnt or whatever. So they're driving this utility, this van, open van, right? We call it a ute here in Australia. There they call it like a truck, small truck. So they're going about 45 miles an hour, and they come around a bend, and the car's got a bumper bar, and they see a Bigfoot running on its 4 legs and goes straight underneath the driver's tire, but it gets hit by the metal bumper bar. So the animal is actually dead in front of the car. So they get out thinking this is a bear. And when they turn it over, it's dead. It's not a bear. So they actually get it and put it in the back of the truck, and they realize this is something they've never seen before. So they ring up the headquarters and they say, listen, we found this. We don't know what it is. Come and have a look and tell us what it is. So other guys came, got the animal, creature, and put it in their car. And they were told not to talk about it. Then they took the 2 guys, the rangers, back to the headquarters. When they looked at the animal or the creature, as I said, it had legs like a human, but of course longer, had kneecaps, and it's covered in all the fur. And its face doesn't look like a human, but in a way it does, right? But it's covered in all this fur, and it's dirty and whatever it is from the animal obviously going through the forest. And then they're told, these guys, not to talk about it because the government wanted to cover it up, about this finding of this dead Bigfoot.
Bigfoot Men in Black. I like it.
So, I mean, how amazing is that? Now, there's so many animals, as I said, that have been shot, and so many animals that are killed that no one knows about it. And as I said, no scientific evidence. So it's like it doesn't exist, but it does. I mean, personally, myself, with those woods there in America, they're gigantic, these national parks.
Absolutely.
There's got to be some truth to it. Because how many campers have got there and thrown, and they've had stones and noises made in the middle of the night, and they're thinking a tree has come up to the tent. But it's actually the Bigfoot, because the Bigfoot can grow larger than 9 foot, you know? And not only has it got big feet, That's why it's called Bigfoot. And there's so many people in America wearing fake shoes, making tracks in the snow that aren't Bigfoot. You know what I mean? There's so many hoaxes and that going on. It's a joke.
I guess that's the thing. You got to be careful, haven't you? Which ones are hoaxes and which ones has got the real evidence. So do you think there's a conspiracy to keep the truth from the public? Do you think it would scare us?
I personally do.
Yeah.
I actually reckon there's some truth to Bigfoot. There's got to be something out there, but you got to understand, people with guns, when they see it, they think it's a bear. And then when they look again, if they're lucky enough and they see a face, then they think it's a human. So there's all this confusion. Are you shooting a human in a fake suit? Like, that's the first thing that would come to me. And a hunter might just go bang and it's dead and think about it later. There's been so many stories like that, but there's no, as I said, there's no body that has come to the scientific community. That's why there's no scientific evidence that it actually exists.
I mean, I think there's no reason to shoot one because they don't seem to pose a risk to humans. Like you say, throwing stones, but there's no accounts of any attacks on humans, really.
Hey, they're not throwing stones, they're throwing big rocks. And I'll tell you something, if someone had the chance to shoot them, that's the only way they can know that we actually got a Bigfoot. I'm sorry, unless they trap it. I mean, you got to think how long man's been going for, and they still haven't got one that we can see. I mean, I find that like astonishing, because if you go to YouTube, there's so many videos of hunters saying, I saw one, I shot it, I injured it, there's hair on the fence, you know, I got scientific evidence, but there's no evidence. You know, that's the amazing part. I mean, anyone can dress up as a suit. I bet you if I went out in the forest dressed in a suit, I'd get shot.
You would get shot, yeah.
No problem about it, because I couldn't move as fast as they would. But they're over there, you know, it's like if you saw something, you thought it's scary, they'd shoot first, answer question second. I'm sorry, when they're in the forest, they think they see an animal, they just shoot. They'll think it's a bear. I don't think it's a joke to dress up in one of those suits either and go around in the forest. Any nutcase can just shoot you.
I think you deserve to be shot if you're doing that, I think. And is there any connection to Bigfoot and aliens?
I want to know about the UK Bigfoot. You did a segment on that. Yeah,
there was. Yeah, there is. They had an expert on, and there's a hot spot in a place called Box Hill in Surrey. There's a few people have seen it. The thing is, it's not really Bigfoot; it's more medium foot because it's not as big as the American. Because obviously,
might be a small toe. Can I ask you, have you ever seen it around Blackpool? You know, when they go swimming, they see a Bigfoot going in the water and having a bathe because it's a bit cold there, isn't it?
It's a bit cold in Blackpool, yeah. I mean, it's a bit dirty as well, so I wouldn't swim in Blackpool. But it's a nice place.
Well, I got to say that was a buzz talking about Bigfoot, and I've got so many other topics to talk about, but I reckon that's as best you can do on Bigfoot. But go to YouTube. There's so many videos there that exist. So many documentaries, so many movies, and as I said, at this point, he doesn't exist.
So what's your take on it, though, in terms of if they, well, obviously they do exist. I think they do. You do.
I think they do too, and I actually think, as I said,
I mean, what do you think they are? Do you think there's some sort of lost kind of species, or? Yeah,
I think so.
Missing.
I really do. I think there's some kind of species that's lost there in the woods. I mean, you know, there's creatures that come out from nowhere. They catch them in the ocean, and it's like nothing we've never seen before. And these forests are so gigantic and so many acres that, you know what, there's parts of the US where you can't even travel. Like a human can't get into this thick forest. So how do you know something doesn't exist there that we're not aware of? It's just the stories never stop.
Sure. Okay. Well, that was brilliant. Thank you, Plastic EP. Look forward to having you back on. I wonder what your next bizarre topic will be. Who knows?
I can tell you now, it's going to be the Bermuda Triangle, where things go missing.
They do go missing, and there's a lot of stuff coming out about that. So that's brilliant. I really look forward to that, the Bermuda Triangle, as long as we don't play the Barry Manilow song.
No, I won't. Let's look forward to that. And as I want to say is I love everyone on the show, and I love everyone out there in the UK.
Okay,
Nub TV, Nub TV, we love you.
Yes, Nub, not Knob. Rock and roll. Thanks, Daniel. Sorry to mess you around this morning.
No, don't worry, it's fine. You'll make it great. I can't complain. My next topic is going to be the Bermuda Triangle.
Awesome.
I'll do
I
my
love
research, get back to you, and I want to do that. That'll be fab.
I love that. That's brilliant. Yeah. Okay. We're
And
doing
if you
that.
need a bit more time, I can do the Bermuda Triangle next week.
Sure. Good. Because we're doing 2 special 1-hour specials for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
Do you want me to do the Bermuda Triangle next week?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what days.
Yeah, right. That's fine. I'll give you a day and a time next week.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I reckon we can make it 11 o'clock, like the same day.
Yeah. Try not to make it. I know it's getting late.
No, it's all right. Just put down 11 o'clock. What is it? Tuesday. If you can write it down, we'll do. What is it? Today's Monday, there, isn't it?
Yeah, Tuesday's 11 is usually really good. To be fair.
Want to do Tuesday 11?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll just check. All right, I'll put it now in my diary.
Thanks, mate.
And that way we'll be ready to go. Yep. That's the 22nd, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay, Tuesday, 11 a.m. UK. No problem. I'll have that ready. This is great. Now, what have you done? You've shown what, episode 1 or 2 now of the second series, or is it 1?
Episode 1 goes out on Tuesday.
That's great.
And you're on episode
5.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
TikTok time traveler. I love the promo. I can't wait to see it. Apparently, the only way you can see it is you've got to pay to see it on some site. Is that right? There's going to be places online. It's going to go on TV first. Yeah, that's right. But once it's off TV, can you send me a link?
Oh, yeah, of course I will. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no worries. Just send me a link to 5, and whenever I'm on, just send me a link after the show. As I said, next Tuesday, 11 a.m. Look after yourself, Mark, and keep up the great work. I saw a current affair. I saw it that Saturday night. I wasn't in it, but it was still good publicity for you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was great.
Rock and roll. Thanks, mate.
All right, see you Tuesday.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.